My dad was called Bali and he was born in India, in Punjab. And when he was 9, he came over to England. But if you met him, he was as Yorkshire as they came. When we were younger, he was out and about a lot, so he worked at kind of pubs or unsociable hours. I have fond memories of us watching cartoons together, playing computer games together. So he was just a big kid, I think. So he'd like to travel. He loved trying different sorts of foods. He could cook. He had so much different kind of interest. As I get older, I can see a lot of me in him. Especially for his generation, it was that real strong pull to want to settle into kind of the British way of life, or having that other pull to stay very traditional. And I think that's what they struggled with a lot. He had friends of all different kind of races, ages, kind of genders, and he was very open about that. But there were also little bits that he had still bought from India, so it wasn't so long ago the partition had happened, and I remember him talking about having conflict with Muslims, so there were still bits that they'd inherited from their parents. I always remember him being slightly unhappy, or there was always something that wasn't quite right. From what I've learned, there was very little choice about who you married. So his marriage to my mum was arranged. Everyone had this perception that my parents had a perfect marriage, they were the perfect couple, they loved each other loads. But behind closed doors, it was very different. And at some point, I remember that falling apart, so that, image falling apart with my mum saying, actually, this is not what this is. And I think that's when he really started struggling. And I do think he really missed having his family around him. And I think he just felt really lonely. It became quite apparent that he wasn't happy within himself. And that was kind of it. When he drank, that came out a lot more. I don't think he ever sought help for feeling low or down. I guess he'd been brought up, if you're a man, you're strong, you don't cry, you don't say how you're feeling, you keep that in, that's no one else's business. All those kind of ideas that he'd probably got from his parents and watching them, as he grew up, he carried on with. I think towards the end of my dad's life, I think he felt like he was losing everyone. And I think for him it was like, well, what is the point? What do I do? I'll always feel robbed. There's a lot of things that remind me he's not there. And actually just being able to call him up and say, you know what, the sink's leaking, what do I do? Or I've seen this film and you'd really like it, what do you think? There's a new album out, do you want it? Or, just I miss all that.